My name is Jerry. I left MAGA and I'm here to spill all the tea. So, in this particular episode, I'm going to be talking about a character by the name of Joel Webbon. Let me go ahead and bring this dude up. As you can see, I've got several clips here I'm going to share. I'm going to try to keep this fairly brief, but I got to let you know what Joel's saying because this guy is a Trump sycophant beyond belief. As you can see from the title there, that's he's kind of spicy. And MAGA wouldn't consider him spicy. MAGA would consider him enlightened. But in this first video, well, you can see the title there. Let's just see what he has to say.
People will spend money on plenty of things that are not virtuous. And so, so I don't want a perfectly free market. I want the state first. I want the state to be Christian, which we currently don't have. But I want the state to be Christian. Separation of church and state, that's fine. But separation of Christ and state, no way. There is a God above the state, or else the state is God. And so I would like the true God, the one that actually exists, the triune God, to be the head of the state. And then assuming that, a Christian state, I want that Christian state to be able to govern even economic.
You get the point, right? I'm gonna go ahead and play the rest of it, and we can discuss on this stuff in the comments if you have any questions. Primarily, what I'm doing is giving evidence of character. So let's go ahead and finish this up.
Economic affairs, and not necessarily in a meticulous way, not in a way that's overbearing, but absolutely, I want the state to be able to come in and say, oh, I see you have a business here called OnlyFans.
Right.
That's shut down. Oh, but the people want it. Oh, yeah, but the people are retarded. That's shut down.
See what I mean? See what I mean? I'll put links to these down in the description on the video. But so I'm gonna go ahead and give this a thumbs up because I really appreciate the work that Right Wing Watch does. But I'm just gonna shut up and let him.
Here's the advice for young single women who want to be married and feel as though they're being passed over. The advice is there are many things that you can do. The chief thing, of course, being trusting the Lord and making the desires of your heart known to the Lord in prayer. God, I eagerly desire to be a wife and a mother. If it be your will, would you send me a husband? That's pivotal. Being in a good local church where there are godly men, asking your father to help, talking to the elders to see if they might know of a single man who might be a compatible suitor, all those things. Here's another piece of advice, and people don't like it. This is the kind of thing that your Benjamin Glaser would lose his ever-loving mind, and everybody, this will probably get clipped out and will go viral all again, right? Run it back, right? 2 for 2. Here's another thing. Lose 20 to 30 pounds.
Oh, it gets worse as I go along. It gets worse. By the time I am at the end of this, you'll hopefully be able to see what I'm trying to point out. But let's go ahead and do this next video.
Well, who are the victims currently in our American context? Well, I'll tell you, and I won't mince words. The actual victims in our American context today are heritage Americans. If you are a man.
Okay, so what he means by heritage Americans are individuals who have been here several generations. Myself, on my dad's mom's side of the family, we can trace roots back to the Pilgrims, back to the. Anyway, I think Meemaw was daughters of the Mayflower. I don't remember exactly. I know she was daughters of the American Revolution, but that's beside the point. That is the case in point of the kind of thing that Joel Webbon is talking about here. Heritage citizens. All right, let's let him continue babbling.
If you are a Christian man if you are a non-sodomite, gay, furry man, and if you are a white man, then you are objectively on the books, be it Ivy League schools, or be it the hiring processes of Fortune 500 companies, or be it certain tax brackets, or be it just the general cultural milieu, or even among the perception of your local elders at your local church. If you are a young, white, single, straight man, you are, in the year of our Lord 2025, here in these United States, a legitimate victim. Women.
It's very important. Sorry about the delay on the mute. I just probably should use the button on the mic. It's important for me to pause here, because when he's talking about here in these United States of America, that is coded language from inside the MAGA cult. They're making a reference to something that was written back before the founding of the country. And it's the United States of America, not these United States of America. So he's using Christian nationalist verbal words, language. So let's go ahead and continue. I'll continue breaking it down as we go along.
Are atrocious today. They are immodest. They're hoes. They're dumb, like literally intellectually unintelligent. They are shallow. They are deceitful. They are wicked. They are vile. They vote for trannies. I'm not making it up. It is a 45.
No, Joel, you are making it up. But let's continue.
Objectively, 45-point difference between young men and young women today. That's where we're at. 45-point difference. Women are radical progressives.
Oh, women are radical progressives. It would seem to me that those who are effeminate in nature, or feminine in nature, or women in general, tend to be a bit more creative. And these cats, authoritarianism is inherently destructive. They can't deal with creativity. In case you haven't figured out yet that Joel Webbon is a misogynist, I'm going to play one more clip for you in reference to Joel Webbon's views on women, and hopefully you can start making that American Taliban connection. By the time I'm done with this, I think you'll get exactly what I'm saying. So let's take 26 seconds and see what Joel Webbon has to say here.
In a nutshell, in general, I don't want to see women in the public sphere. You mean they shouldn't hold political office? Correct. You mean you don't want to see them podcasting? Correct. Well, but what about in the marketplace? With 9 to 5, careers. No, not that either. Like I don't want to see women holding positions in the public square. I don't.
Okay, so he doesn't want to see women. That seems to me like one of those Taliban ideas. All right, here's another real juicy piece. It's a minute and 19 seconds. We'll see if we can get through it in a whole run, but I seriously doubt it's going to happen. But let's give it a try.
If you're a Christian white parent who loves the Lord and loves your children, that you need to have the talk. The talk that we're referencing is the talk that takes your children according to their maturity at the proper time, the appropriate time, and says, there are certain parts of town that you cannot go. And there are certain people that you cannot be around.
Yep.
Right? If there's someone who is black in our church, and they've been in our church, and we know them, and they love the Lord Jesus Christ, great. We're not talking about that person.
Right.
Okay, again, coded language, our Lord Jesus Christ. That is a parallel reference in these people's minds to Christ as King. So clarification on that. But if you can't pick it up, he's promoting a segregationist view, which requires a mindset that can accept othering. So you're different than me, you have to stay over there. You're different than me for whatever reason. So you have to stay over there. So let's let him continue babbling.
But we're talking about when you go into a crowd of people. If you go into a crowd of strangers and they're white strangers, there's some danger. If they're black strangers, there is 30 times more danger.
Hyperbolic weasel words. He's pulling numbers out of the air. There are no statistics to back that up.
Them's the facts. And it is actually a failure of your parental duty. White parents, please hear me. If you teach your children growing up, if you lie to them and say all people and all races of people in our country are the same, they are not. You are actually depriving your child of factual, truthful information that could save their life.
White supremacist, I'm just saying, he puts it all out there. All right, so you can't see the title on this next video, but it's kind of rough. Joel Webbon rages that false religion, or that the false religion of Holocaustianity must be ground into dust. All right. Can you see where I'm going? I hope you can. But if you can't, I'll take you right to the end of the path. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
That historical event is no mere historical event. It is a religion. It is an ideology. It is a worldview. It is a weaponized bludgeon that has beat generation after generation of white young men into believing they're not allowed to have a future. And it is time for Holocaustianity, that false, wicked, satanic religion of Holocaustianity, to fall and crumble like the idol that it is. Somebody raises an Islamic 90-foot statue in my state, which they have outside of Houston. My prayer is that that statue would be ground into dust. Let no false god be worshipped on American soil. This is a Christian nation.
Nowhere in the Bible does it say that. All right? Nowhere in the Bible does it say on American soil. Anyway.
And Christ is King. And the same principle applies to a more powerful false religion that has had America, my nation, in a stranglehold a lot longer and a lot tighter than Islam ever has or likely ever will. And that is the false religion, not of Islam, but Holocaustianity. And all its idols and all its high priests and all of its altars and all of its sacraments must be ground into dust. And if that requires some young men to use language that makes you feel a little icky, God bless it.
Oh, real piece of work here. So, here's another little special piece, and we'll call this the whipped cream. I got a cherry to put on top of this whole mess in the next video. But let me just tell you that Degenerates is a code word for anybody that's not part of the Christian nationalist movement. So if you have any progressive inklings whatsoever, if you live any sort of lifestyle that's outside of any sort of cisgendered man, woman, children, life, family structure, then yeah. But you also have to believe in Jesus. At least on the street, you have to act like a Christian. Weird caveat. But let's go ahead and see what Joel's got to say here. This one's only 52 seconds. And yeah, it says degenerates must tolerate Christian righteousness or go to jail. If what ICE did to Renee Nicole Good is Christian righteousness, which apparently they think it is. I don't want any part of that. I'm just saying. But anyway, let's check this out.
We're not actually critiquing gatekeeping as a whole.
Right.
If the right is ascendant and we win, you absolutely should gatekeep from the left.
Correct. Yeah.
But in this case,
there should not be transgender people on the White
Yep.
House lawn. So it's like, well, wouldn't you gatekeep them if you guys were ever in power? Of course.
right? That's
course.
why you have to win.
Well, how come you're allowed?
So you can gatekeep.
How come you're allowed to do that? Because we're right. What is this equal standard? I don't get it. It's like we should have equal standards. Christians should tolerate wickedness equally to wicked people tolerating righteousness. Wait, what?
Hang
No,
on a
it doesn't
second.
need to be equal at all. Christians don't have to tolerate degeneracy, and
That's why it makes it difficult to coexist with these individuals.
degenerates absolutely must tolerate righteousness, or they need to go to jail or flee the country.
Right.
It's a wonderful principle, perfectly biblical. No, there's nothing equal about it.
He admits it. There's nothing equal about it. Just straight up says it right out there. But if you don't know where to look, if you don't know where to listen, you're not going to understand that these are things that are in the undercurrents of the MAGA movement. People keep asking, well, how could they believe this stuff? It's because they're listening to guys like Joel Webbon. I think my next video is going to be on Greg Locke. He's another big mover and shaker. I will get into it. There's so many players. There's so many names in my gallery of rogues. I'm going to be busy for a while. And this is all working towards a book. But anyway, let's check this last piece out. I will try to get all the way through it. I doubt I'll get through it without interrupting it because it's 2 minutes long. But let's check this out.
Yep, you can't be a
Amen.
vigilante, but you literally can join ICE and be God's appointed avenger,
Right.
right? Who seeks to carry out God's vengeance on the evildoer. Immigration is evil.
All right, so right there, I knew I wasn't going to get very far. Right there, he's promoting a crusader concept, a crusader mentality. And I just want to point at Pete Hegseth and his Deus Vult and other crusader tattoos. This is the mindset that drives the people who follow people like Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump. But let's see how much further we can get.
At least at the level that we have it today, and those who are flooding our country, it's not theirs. They are flooding our country like a swarm of locusts and eating up the inheritance that your fathers, by their blood, sweat, and tears.
Okay, so right there, he just invoked the white replacement theory and then the blood, sweat, and tears. That's a blood in the soil type thing. This is Nazi rhetoric. This is fascistic rhetoric. All right, trying to move on.
Laid up for you. It is a breach of a rebellion against the fifth commandment to honor your father and mother. If you are a heritage American and you can track your ancestry back even just 3 generations, you have
Even just 3 generations. All right, so as I understand it from my research, in Germany, when joining the Thule Society, which eventually became the SS, to even be qualified to become a member, you had to be able to prove your Germanic heritage back 10 generations. Joel's only putting 3 generations at least on there. So the further you can go back, the more heritage you have, the more treasure you have laid up, invested in this country, much like the idea that I talked about in the view on death video that I just posted previous to this one, about how it's difficult to cause somebody to have respect here on earth when they believe all their rewards are going to be in heaven. Anyway, trying to move on.
have some degree of heritage here in America. Your fathers, they literally sacrificed for you, and what they did for you and for your children, their children's children, is being devoured by those who it does not belong to. And so to join the proper mechanism through ICE and to become, in that sense, God's appointed deacon to carry out vengeance on the evildoer who is devouring the inheritance of the children.
Oh, oh, man. So much coded language there. It's all Crusader messaging, though. And this is the kind of thing that gets these unqualified individuals motivated to go and sign up for ICE for these bonuses that the Trump administration is giving them. This is why Renee Nicole Good got shot in the face. This is why this is why we have the insanity that we do.
That is a righteous thing. You can join ICE today and make Jesus smile as you, with a gun, pack foreigners into the back of a van to be kicked out of the country. That is
lucky,
a godly, glorious endeavor.
You'll get.
This guy needs to go back and reread the red letters if he wants to be a Christian. And this is the why. This is the case in point as to why I'm an agnostic who is willing to work with progressive Christians or anybody else. I don't care who you pray to or if you pray. If you're a good person doing good things for your fellow human, let's work together. All right? That's where I am. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't advocate for violence. I abhor drama. But everything about this administration is just totally abhorrent to everything that I hold dear to my heart.
Good to go to Portland or Chicago and also get to throw libs to the ground too.
I've seen
Pink
some of
hair,
those videos.
Purple hair. That is also a God-glorifying
That is-
endeavor.
that
Either
is-
you're sending them out,
They
sending
hate,
them to
These
jail.
are people who hate you. They hate the country. They're trying to destroy it. These are criminals. They are. It's treason.
So I've said it before, and I'm going to keep saying it. I'm a Cold War veteran. I took an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. This guy does not understand. He marches the party line. Oh man.
These are traitors. They're traitors to America, and it's.
Oh yeah, traitors to America. Okay, so you, Mr. Joel Webbon, are part of a movement that either wants to rewrite or completely replace the U.S. Constitution. When your dear leader, Donnie Trump, released that or started selling that Bible that Lee Greenwood was peddling and couldn't sell out of the trunk of his car, that God Bless America Bible, it has the incorrect version of the U.S. Constitution in there, which the Bible is add or take away nothing. So I'll do a video on the Negro Bible some other time. But when they put the Bill of Rights in there, they only included 1 through 10. 11 through 27 are gone. They don't want to recognize those. In my opinion, as a veteran who still believes in my oath to defend the Constitution, these guys are enemies of the state. These are the treasonous ones.
It's time to clean up our country.
Yeah, it is time to clean up our country. It's time for people to start waking up on both sides of the fence. There's so much going on in the background. There's this. It's a holy war. No, I'm not hearing anybody call it out as a holy war. I'm not at all, or very rarely. But this is what's going on, and as I continue introducing you to the players in the game, I'm going to start telling you about how they're connected and start building up some of the framework that is going to turn into my book. So thanks for hanging around. That was a bit longer than I had originally planned, but that was pertinent information, in my opinion, that needed to be covered. That's the American Taliban. All right. Until the next video, take care of yourself, take care of each other, get some rest, and get plenty of fluids.